No contact success stories and why it works. If you're thinking of going no contact on your ex, but need some reassuring that the technique works, you're on the right spot. We have gathered some of our client success stories to share with you today to learn from their accomplishments. In case you don't quite know what no contact means, we'll go over the basics of the rule real quick before sharing the success stories. Going no contact on your ex after they have broken up with you means cutting all forms of communication with them for a specified period. You can go 2 to 4 weeks without contacting them, but from our experience, sometimes even 6 to 8 weeks are needed for someone to understand that breaking up with you was a mistake and to start missing you. The reason why this method works is that you walk away from your ex entirely and don't respond to their calls, texts, and all other forms of communication. Maybe in the beginning, they won't even try to contact you since they are the ones who broke up with you. But surely they would be expecting, if not hoping for some kind of reaction from you, waiting for you to text and beg them to take you back, only to confirm that they have made the right decision breaking up with you. So, by telling them you respect their decision and giving them space to think about it, you are turning the situation on its head entirely and taking the control away from them. Weeks will pass without any contact, and they won't be able to stop thinking about you and how come you have not contacted them still. At this point, you should be patient, as you'll see in some of the success stories here, and let your ex contact you first. And trust me, they will. You just have to give them enough time. With that said, let's hear some of our no contact success stories. The first story comes from a guy whose girlfriend broke up with him. At first, when she told me she needed space and wanted to break up, I was devastated. I loved this person, and I couldn't imagine myself without her. At first, I made all the rookie mistakes of sending her flowers and letters, texting her twice a day, trying to get her to meet me and talk. But all my actions resulted in her ignoring me even more. So, after finding out about the no contact rule, I just told her I respected her decision and stopped contacting her completely. 3 weeks have passed, and I was getting all anxious as she may have forgotten me and moved on. I thought I should have fought harder instead of letting her go, but I remembered all your videos on no contact and the advice you'd given me. So I knew I had to resist the urge to text her. After the 3rd week, she unblocked me from all social media, and during the 5th week, she texted me asking how I've been. I was so happy and excited, but didn't want to show it to her. So I waited a couple of hours before I replied calmly. We ended up texting all night long and even setting a coffee date for the next day. Now, 3 months later, after working on our relationship together and talking about what went wrong, we are happier together than we ever were. No contact absolutely works as long as you are open to patiently waiting and giving your ex the space they need. Our next success story comes from a girl that was left by her boyfriend. We dated for 3 years, and one day he just told me that he needed time to think about the relationship and our future. I couldn't believe my ears, especially because I thought everything was going just fine. I went no contact immediately and managed to stay away for 3 weeks after he had contacted me telling me he misses me and wants to get back. I was thrilled. This time we were together for 5 months, after which he told me he needed space and wants to break up again. I was confused and devastated for the 2nd time, but I knew I couldn't let him do that to me. So this time, instead of going no contact, I maintained some connection for 2 months where we went back and forth, constantly unable to get closure. I was spinning in circles, unable to let go. One day I just decided I would go 30 days without contacting him. I started learning French and exercising. I wanted to work on myself to distract myself and not think of him. After 2 months, he was still contacting me, but I didn't give in and worked on me instead. I didn't want to be in that toxic relationship any longer, so going no contact showed me I could do so much better. I realized that being by myself isn't bad, and by working on improving myself, I could find someone who loved me and truly wanted to be with me full time, instead of changing their mind every 2 months. I recommend no contact to anyone who wants to change their life for the better. These 2 and hundreds of other success stories prove that the no contact rule works if you are persistent with it. Going no contact lets both parties think about their mistakes in the relationship and how to do better next time. Communication is vital, but sometimes going silent for a while is the absolute best thing you can do for your relationship. One of my female friends just recently went through a breakup with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend stood up in front of her and said, "I'm breaking up with you." Her heart dropped. It was like a dagger stabbed her in the heart. She felt ugly, insecure, and sad all the time. She felt devastated. She had no idea the relationship was on the brink of breaking up. The next week she spent in bed crying over him. All she wanted was for everything to be back to normal again, and his arms wrapped around her. She wanted him back, and she started becoming a little desperate. She tried becoming more sexual with him, tried making him jealous with other men, and even no contact without it working at all. It actually pushed him more away than getting him closer. Then she learned a couple of simple psychological triggers that work on all men. The way she would win her ex back was to use these psychological triggers in the right order at the exact right time over a couple of weeks. A couple of times per week, she would feed her ex these psychological triggers in person, through text, and on social media. At the same time as winning her ex back, there was another man. She had had a crush on him for years, and he just got single. This guy was everything she wanted, but he was never interested in her like that. Well, what if she tested these psychological triggers on her crush as well? After a week of dripping these psychological triggers into the guys in her life, nothing new happened, but she could instantly see that these triggers started changing their behavior. At the end of the month, she had both men standing in line wanting her. At the drop of a hat, she was the one with all the control. She had finally gained her power back, felt more confident, strong, sexy, and in control than ever before. Now she knew exactly how she could get men to chase her, and she would use these psychological triggers to build a stronger and better relationship than before, because she didn't know what men actually secretly wanted. I don't know whether you want to learn these simple psychological triggers or not. If you want to learn what they are, you might want to click the link in the description now. You don't need to click the link in the description now. It's just that you'll learn exactly how to get men to chase you, even if you think all hope is lost. It's truly something to check out. If you're running out of options and you have no idea what to do right now, click the link in the description. Also, remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel because you'll get notified of every new Modern Love Potion video. If you're having troubles with love and men, you should watch our 3 best videos by tapping the screen now. They might solve your love problems instantly, kind of like drinking a Modern Love Potion that will make him fall at your feet. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.